How's everyone doing? Welcome to the final episode of After the After Hours with your boy TraderPrad. The final day of this week is tomorrow going to be a free fall Friday. Now get ready for tomorrow. Powell going on the microphone. Powell going on the microphone again. Get ready for tomorrow. So I do have a watch list ready, but if you guys are ready, hit that like and subscribe. Hit that like and subscribe. Thank you guys for all the love. Thank you guys for all the support. This your boy TraderPrad. TraderPrad. But if you guys are ready for this show to get started, why don't we dive into the full screen and hit that like and subscribe. Yo, what is up, chat? How's everyone doing? Hopefully everyone's having a wonderful weekend. Everyone's enjoying their Sunday night so far. Their Saturday's been amazing. I mean, oh my... Hello, camera? What's wrong with my webcam? Configure video. Give me a second with this webcam. Oh my god, now you guys can't see me at all. There we go. Now this looks better. Okay, how you guys doing? Hopefully you guys enjoying the Sunday. I mean, Saturday was insane. UFC weekend, the biggest UFC night fight card that there's ever been, honestly. And there was this crazy knockout where this fighter won in the last second of the fight. Round 5, last second, wins the KO. Baddest motherfucker title. He gets it awarded to him. Give him the 600k bonus, the 500k bonus, whatever it was. I mean, my goodness, UFC was wild. Besides that, I didn't really do too much, you know, obviously, because I don't really have my legs messed up, so I can't really go anywhere. But got to spend some time with my niece, got to spend time with my brother, watch some UFC. That was basically all my weekend was. And now we're getting ready for the more fun part, which is everything that's coming up this week. I mean, Jesus Christ, what a week do we have for the stock market coming up. So many stocks with earnings. Obviously, banks with last weekend coming out with their earnings report, starting off the earnings season. Now we got Netflix this week. We got ASML this week. We also got a bunch of other stocks tomorrow. More banks, basically, such as Goldman Sachs, Charles Schwab. We'll also look at some of the stocks that already announced earnings last week, such as the bank stocks, to see if there's any play on them. But basically, we'll go through all things for tomorrow, all things for all this week, kind of see what's in store this week. What do we have to really prepare for? When do we think the volatility or liquidity will start pouring into the market? And what opportunities do we really want to be saving our risk for? What opportunities do we want to think that might be the bigger opportunities where we want to really smash them, and so on? So today's episode is basically about getting ready for all things the week of April 15th, 2024, and then a little bit about getting to see what's in store for tomorrow, for tomorrow, finding some levels that could be possible to play off. Also, cryptocurrencies took a nice little dump in the in the weekend over here, all the way back down to 60,000. Bitcoin moving right back down. We also have Bitcoin halving coming up at the end of this week on Friday, April 19th. So that should be a little bit of an interesting event. Also, that's being the third Friday, some more options expiry. That should bring some expiry, some triple witching kind of fun over there on the markets. So lots of things going on in this week. And as I already mentioned, Netflix, a big earnings name. So that's something to keep on watch for. So why don't we get the party started? Hopefully you guys are all having a wonderful weekend so far. Let me know what you guys did. If you guys were watching UFC, maybe you're watching some, I don't know, IPL cricket, if you're into cricket, whatever it is that you're watching. So far, I see TH is in the chat, Dieter, Ani, Josh, Shaky Trades. What's up, guys? How's everyone doing today? TH saying the title to this week's market activity could be Slaughterhouse 5. Spoiler alert, it's not a comedy. So TH is giving a little bit of a hint as to what he expects, where the market was going to go, and he's expecting that it's going to flush to the downside, especially with the earnings coming up, and the earnings might not be so hot as people are expecting. So we'll wait to see what happens. Dieter with the pink dinosaur, but guess what, Dieter, your name's back in green. For the couple days over there, your name wasn't in green, but now it's back in green because I finally figured out the whole YouTube problem with the monetization that I was having, where they took away my monetization for a little bit. But now we're back, baby. We're back and we're better. So we can't wait to see when they take it back from us again. But welcome back to the green side, Dieter, as our wonderful friend Miss V always said it. Welcome back to the green side. Oh, Super Chat is back. That's right, Super Chat is back, and those colors should react to Super Chat. We'll see if they do or no. But welcome back, everybody. Hopefully you guys are ready. So we're gonna get the party started, heading over to the big screen. Let's bring a big screen over here, starting with everything that's in store for this week on the earnings scale. The earnings board for tomorrow, like I already mentioned, Goldman Sachs and Charles Schwab. Very interested to see how these stocks set up in the pre-market for ourselves. We already had a bunch of other banks reporting last weekend. Let me just quickly go to my Discord. That's right, go check out my Discord link. It's absolutely free, and we help people out all the time in there with free tools, free automations, and everything. Over here, this is the picture from last week's earnings report, earnings calendar. Sorry, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, and Citigroup are the three companies that we really care about for tomorrow, along with Goldman Sachs and Charles Schwab. So basically very bank centered, very XLF centered. We also got more banks coming out on Tuesday. Bank of America, a couple health groups over here, UNH, which took a quick dump to the downside recently, along with CVS, and I forget which other ones over there because of the Medicare interest rates going up. J&J also in the same basket. You can take a look at that. Morgan Stanley recently went to the downside because they had some sort of a probe into their wealth arm. So them reporting on Tuesday will be interesting to see if they reverse some of that move or they continue to the downside over there. A couple other banks along with it, more trading companies on Tuesday. We also got United Airlines. That's pretty interesting. ASML, the whole semiconductor industry. So you're watching that. Las Vegas Sands, that's a good one. TSM, semiconductor again. Netflix, obviously everyone loves Netflix. If you don't have Netflix at this point, you are almost looked as a weirdo in this world. So Netflix account, will be interested to see how those numbers come out. If they have gotten more subscribers ever since they started making this whole ad-based subscription tier, which is a lower subscription tier, but you get a little bit of ads between your movie time or whatever. So that should bring in a lot more viewers. Also, I almost said Joe Rogan. Not Joe Rogan. Jake Paul and Mike Tyson will be boxing each other very soon in July or June. So that should be interesting. And that one's being streamed on Netflix. That will be Netflix, probably the first ever live sporting event that's being streamed, which will be crazy. I don't think Netflix has ever done something like that before. If they have, I could be wrong. But besides that, that is all she wrote for earnings this week. Pretty interesting. Not crazy names like Tesla, Apple, Microsoft. Not those big names, but you still have some names that are very interesting over here that could help us look for some opportunities, some trades, and so on. This is our earnings calendar. Jesus. Water. I'm gonna need more water. If my throat's already acted up, only after speaking a couple sentences, I'm gonna need more water. All right, but we're gonna quickly head over from the earnings calendar to our good friend over at Stock Market News. He actually posts amazing reviews for what to watch, what's on store for every single week. For this week over here, starting with Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, We kind of saw a quick example of what's in store from the earnings calendar. He basically points out the earnings calendars. He is also pointing out the Bitcoin halving that's coming up, which will put interest on stocks such as Mara, Hut 8, Riot, MSTR, even Coinbase will be interested in that whole debacle that Bitcoin will probably go through. And as I mentioned, that Bitcoin already flushing 260k. Wow, monster move on Bitcoin right now as we're talking about it, right back up to 65k from 63k. Bang, shout notes, bang, ship to the upside. I don't even know what I'm trying to say here, but Bitcoin's kind of rallying right now, bringing in some volume. Let's go Bitcoin, taking out that high too, but let's see if it can take out that high and kind of go back into 67, 70k. Bitcoin making that flush not too long ago over the weekend. Everyone was worried what Bitcoin might do, if it's going to actually take out that 59, 60k low, but managing to bounce off of that right now successfully. Everything's still up in air, everything's still question mark in my opinion. Bitcoin really doesn't matter until we get under this 59, 58k or above that 73k in my opinion. And Bitcoin halving, for those of you who don't know, is a pretty big event where half of the miners inventory will be cut in half. The miners inventory that they mine will be cut in half. Pretty sure I saw the lights just flash. All right, I'm not gonna hear the super chat talk. If she did, I might have missed it, but let me see. Did you put your face on 50 cent to represent your profits? Hey, making 50 cent per share, if you're only risking 10 cents per share, that's a 5:1 reward, right? 5:1 reward. Now, if you take, let's say, 10 cents risk, you can take 1,000 shares, give it a 10 cent. That's 100 shares, $100 risk for 10 cents. But if you make,
face on 50C to represent
I heard it now. Good thing I turned it on. Good thing I turned on my loudspeaker. Now I heard it. Who said about 50 cent per share? So look, 50 cents, right? 50 cent per share. You get 50, bang, bang, 50 times. Wait, that's not how it works. Bang. So for risking every $100, I make $500. That's a great trader. And 50 Cent is a great trader. 50 Cent sold his company $100 million. Great trader. 50 is a great trader. Hope you guys had a great weekend. We did have a great weekend. Weekend's not over yet, Victoria. We're still having fun. A couple of my friends actually started playing PGA 2K23 on Steam because they have a free weekend, and it's a pretty fun game. We were having fun with that. That was a pretty fun game. I was actually playing that right before going on stream, so I was almost late to going live on stream over here, but I'm glad that I was able to finish off that round as soon as possible so I can go live, and then we can talk all about the stock market. Hopefully, what did you do, Victoria? What did you do? Who said anything about 50 cents per share? Hey man, if I'm risking 1 cent and making 50 cents in just in the trade itself, that's still a good trade. Still a good trade, and all I do is good trades. I'm sorry. I know you're jealous. It's okay. I understand. It's like that, sometimes it's like that, especially when you're watching your Bitcoin burn, Ani. Let it burn. Now, Bitcoin now climbing back up, and we love to see that. Where are we? This is all about Sunday too. So 4-day Las Vegas show from Sony, Verizon, Sinclair, a couple other notable companies having some sort of, this is the earnings watch. 8:30 March retail sales report will come out. 10 a.m. We got Norfolk will participate in fireside chat with, I don't think that's a trading event at all. Data reports from more banks. TED 2024 will run all week with activist investors from Google DeepMind CEO talking about AI and its future. Okay. Volatility report from Rivian, Nicola. Okay, that's pretty interesting. Probably from options. Yeah, options trading volatility. Silver. Gold has been pretty active. I don't know if you guys saw gold on Friday. Gold made a pretty good move on Friday. I was long gold, and then it made a big dump to the downside. So gold probably something to watch out for. GL's on the watch list for tomorrow. GL probably something to keep an eye out for. That stock has been kind of sold off quite a bit for their investment fraud short report that came out on Tuesday. We also talked about a couple of the stocks that are reporting earnings. Baidu having its flagship AI conference. A couple other stocks having their conference that don't really matter too much. The IMF, the International Monetary Fund, will release its latest World Economic Outlook. You will own nothing and you will be happy. Freaking Carl Schwab. Was that his name? Carl Schwab who said that? Earnings watch. More earnings on Wednesday over here. The Federal Reserve will release its beige book. Nothing really too interesting to stand out on the economic scale on Wednesday, sadly. Thursday, nothing really over here. I guess we could go directly to the economic scale and come back to each one of these days when these days actually matter. But for tomorrow, as you guys can see, we kind of talked about it. Bitcoin going into that 60K Bitcoin halving event will be busy all week with that event, because that could happen anytime. Right now, the quoted date on Google is on Friday this week, so we'll be using that date so far. But it'll be an event throughout this week, and Bitcoin's going to be making crazy moves, crazy volatility, most likely, at least I hope, because it'll give us some opportunities to trade it. But that basically is the synopsis for everything this week. Some of our friends in the chat already think that this week's going to be a bloodbath. Let's see if there's anything really important on the economic scale coming out throughout this week using the economic calendar. We see coal retail sales, 8:30 retail sales. Maybe we filter this for only 3 stars right now. Give me only 3-star events. Apply. Close. There we go. So these are the only 3-star events we have, sadly, on throughout this week. Core retail 8:30. Fed Powell talking at 1:15 on Tuesday. Oil inventories and natural gas inventories. That's Wednesdays and Thursdays. You guys know that. Thursday, initial jobless claims coming out at 8:30. Philadelphia manufacturing at 8:30, and existing home sales coming out at 10 o'clock. So really, no big economic events such as CPI, PPI that could sway the market drastically, but some events that could come into play that could help the market move, or specific stocks move, like retail stocks could move tomorrow at 8:30. Bank stocks could move tomorrow because of their earnings report. Fed Powell talking at 1:15 on Tuesday could move the whole market. So you want to watch out what happens, but we're just glad that there's no big events coming into this earnings season right now, because that means it's solely market moving on whatever the hell it wants to do, and we can just focus on the catalyst based events, the catalyst based stocks where they should be doing their own secular movement, like JP Morgan. It should not matter what the market's doing. If JP Morgan did not have a good enough earnings report and flush to the downside, it should most likely continue that flush even lower, or kind of reverse from that flush that it had yesterday on Friday. By yesterday, I mean Friday. Reverse some of that flush. I actually got a beautiful short on JP Morgan to the downside on Friday. Sadly, I did not capture the whole move, and that was pretty sad. GLD, let me show you how GLD traded Friday. I mean, Jesus Christ. Big move to the north side. I got long somewhere here, added on the move over here, got out in this spike, did not capture the whole move to the upside. Later on, oh my goodness, was that reversal insane. A much bigger reversal all the way back down to the south side. Could have smacked that short somewhere here. Missed that opportunity. Wasn't even looking for the shorts. I was just happy that I made the long and I won on the long, but I ignored the shorts completely. My manager kind of put that on view for me. It's like, Prad, you killed it on the long, but see how good of an opportunity the short was. So I kind of have to write the stock up. You know what? Let's actually... Maybe I'll do that off stream. So I don't have to waste your time writing this up. But I have to basically write this stock up so I kind of don't miss opportunities like this. We've seen opportunities like this dime a dozen before, where stocks actually, even though GLD is not a stock, it's an ETF, where stocks have actually taken out their all-time high, going into a new territory to the upside, and then giving you an insane reversal right back to the downside from that very same previous level. You can see how that opening range low, stock comes back in, rejects that opening range low or opening range high multiple times. The low and the high for the opening 5-minute range keeps getting tested, rejected. We're not able to hold above the opening range 5-minute high anymore like we did earlier on in the day, and the selling just keeps on pouring into the stock, keeps on pouring in. So that is a great opportunity over there to kind of flip short. I would love to kind of, you know, add this to my playbook, even though I do have it in my playbook. Actually, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Go to my trade write-ups over here, put that in a new tab. So if we go to trade write-ups, you can see how I have all-time high break and reject, all-time high break and reject, and all-time high break and re-entry for Microsoft, right? So if we go to Microsoft here real quick, you can see how this stock, here's how I traded it, but I traded it on this day because, oh shit, I closed the damn thing that I wanted to show you guys. Here we go. So I traded Microsoft because I was able to actually do this for JP Morgan. The JP Morgan trade, I missed it very much. It broke through all-time high and then immediately started coming back down, gave you a beautiful short. Here's how you could have traded. I playbooked it, I wrote it up. And then the same thing happened on Uber too, off of earnings. Uber broke through all-time high, gave you a beautiful long through the all-time high. That green line was the all-time high, ran up over here, stalled into $65 and gave you an even better short back through all-time high. And I actually think I traded Uber to the long side. I guess I did not, but here's how you could have traded it. But when Microsoft showed up, I said, no, 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 I'm not gonna let Microsoft do that to me. I'm gonna ride it to the long side through its all-time high, and then I'm gonna flip back short through its all-time high again, right back to the downside. Didn't trade it as well as I should have, but I traded it pretty decently. Here's how I could have traded it to the long side. Here's how I could have traded it to the short side if I stuck with the trade later on. You can see how it actually makes a bottom, pulls back into the opening range 5-minute low. This is the 5-minute chart. Opening range 5-minute low, double tops into the opening range 5-minute low now, and gives you an opportunity to ride it right back to the south side again. Even if you did not catch the original short, which is what I did catch, the 490 short, you had the opportunity to catch the short again later on, and that's exactly what GLD looks like, right? Look at GLD going through the north side, ripping up, pulling back down, the opening range 5-minute area now acting as a resistance and giving you an even deeper short. So big missed opportunity. I'm gonna have to write the stock, and I think the only way I will do that right now is if I do this real quick. If I just type this in, type in GLD and leave this in the background. After the stream, after I get offline, I'll be once I kind of go through all my opened tabs over here, because I'm known as a tab man, I'll be able to see that, hey, I have some homework to do. I have to fill in some notes. So that's a pretty good way to kind of keep your memory as a trader. Your memory as a trader is very limited, right? You can only remember maybe some of your best trades, some of your worst trades, but what you really want to do is be able to go out there and identify when a setup looks very similar to another setup. And the only way you can do that is if you're going and putting in the work manually. Like go take the best mover of the day, take the worst mover of the day, and see where you could have possibly built into that position. How could you have traded that? How could you have gotten in for the long side or the short side or whatever side that the stock went to? What indicators could you have used? How are those indicators looking? Obviously, this is all in the retrospective scale. Is that in the right word to use? In the hindsight mindset, but adding that whole thing to your routine will allow you to, you know, have a bank of stocks then where you can immediately be like, hey, I wrote this stock up last time, let me see what I wrote up on it. Bang bang bang, you pull it up. You have a system like Notion where you can immediately just type in the stock ticker. It will show you all the notes with that ticker that you have, and you will immediately be able to read those notes. You'll be able to copy that trade and then emulate it again, right? So a lot of times setup repeat themselves. Pretty much exact same setup on Uber, on JP Morgan, on Microsoft, on Goldman Sachs, and we'll see that, not on Goldman Sachs, sorry, on GLD, and we'll see that many more times. So we got to be ready to capitalize on that. That's enough ranting about GLD. Gonna probably need to add this to my watch list for tomorrow. It's not on my watch list for tomorrow because it is right now back right into these ranges, but that might not be like a game over for it, right? It might just be the engines are cooling down for gold. Gold is going down. I mean, hey, with everything that's going on with war and all that craziness, are we really thinking that you know, shouldn't gold go up during war? Oil should go up during war, so we'll see what happens. We don't really know. Everything right now in the world is kind of crazy, absolutely bonkers. Delay ads. Oh, I can delay ads. That's awesome. Oh, I have a 10-minute timer that says delay ads. Good. I don't want ads to play when I'm live because that's annoying. Ads during the off stream. Ads during the off stream, right, chat? Keep going, Brad. You are going great. You're doing great. I like your research. Thank you, fan. I appreciate your comments. Will with normally oil go up? No. Will will oil go up normally? I guess, like USO. But they all pulled back at the same time. They all pulled back at the same time on that day. Gold, oil, and I'm forgetting what other instrument. Forgetting the other instrument. Yeah, with war they should go up. They should go up. Does Iran have any oil? Does Israel have any oil? Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why. I don't know. My nose is itchy. Got probably boogers in my nose again. God damn it. All right, so everything that's in store for this week, mainly earnings based. So why don't we bring in our watch list for tomorrow? Quickly talk about our watch list over here. We got stocks like Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan. We still have that weed sector over here, which is honestly not really in play for me just yet. We got some of those crazy stocks, DXYZ, DJT, Reddit. Honestly, cool down on it. DJT gave you a beautiful long off of that 29. What did I tell you about that 29 area, right? Monster long off of that 29. It actually broke under, sadly, under 30. It consolidated at that 30 area for quite some bit into the 30, exactly into 30 right there, where it looked like it could have bounced up to the north side, but kind of trapped everyone who went long over here, burnt those stops, and then ran right back to the upside. Insane move right back to the north side over here on DJT. So looks like that area 29, 30 still an area of interest for us, and getting back above that double bottom near $32 is also pretty good for DJT. Maybe there could be some long setting up over here in the near future. So coming back to the watch list and maybe really coming into play right now. I tried that long into 30, didn't work out for me. I should have punched back into 29.50 or into 30 on the way back through. Missed out on that opportunity over there, but still very, very interesting. Coinbase, Mara, GBTC. You saw how stock market news Evan told you that it's going to be an all-week event, and I agree with it. This is going to be an all-week event with Bitcoin having supposedly on Friday. Along with that, with Bitcoin dropping into 60K, moving back up to 65K right now as we're talking about it. Monster moves throughout the week are expected. Monster volatility is most likely coming into play for all cryptocurrency stocks. Along with cryptocurrencies, we always have that mega cap basket, the semiconductor basket. You have TSM with their earnings report this week. You have ASML coming out with their earnings report this week. That should move around all the semiconductor basket stocks at the same time, and Nvidia along with it. So watching all that, and that's basically our watch list for tomorrow. At the top of the list, starting with Goldman Sachs. Now, none of these stocks that well, at least the first two stocks that we're going to talk about, we don't really know what their earnings reports are yet until we wait for tomorrow. But here are some of the levels that I've kind of mapped out. Last week's low, last week's high. We got a couple areas over here that could possibly be of interest based on how the earnings report comes out. Either that's the all-time high. That's probably the all-time high, right? No. Okay. That's the all-time high. That's the all-time high. That's the 52-week high. This is a nice little consolidation low. We've been consolidating here from the start of 2024 all the way till now, so for about 4 months or so. Let's see if that 4-month low gets tested and gets bought right back up, or do we actually break that 4-month low and start an even bigger downtrend to the south side on Goldman Sachs based on their earnings report. Recently, if you've seen what happened to JP Morgan, their numbers look good, but they flushed quite a bit hard to the downside. Wells Fargo came out with decent numbers too, and they didn't really do too hot. I think Citigroup also got flushed later on in the day after having a pretty decent pop in the pre-market. So all these bank stocks, even with decent reports, got slapped to the downside. So if I'm expecting anything from Goldman Sachs, it's probably a repetition of history over here, repetition of exactly what's been going on with the rest of the basket of stocks. So not expecting too much glory. Obviously, Goldman Sachs not really a same legacy bank as JP Morgan or so on. They're more investment banking and so on. So it could be different. We just don't know. We just got to wait and see how Goldman Sachs comes out with their report. Along with Goldman Sachs, we got Charles Schwab coming out with their report also. A little bit of a different chart, not really at its all-time highs, kind of like a Wells Fargo type of trade, honestly, instead of a JP Morgan type of trade, but giving you a decent range to trade off of. I think if the earnings comes out good, we might just pop right into this range high and then reject off of that range high. I'm not going to be expecting too much above that, but the chances are if we do get above it and find some support above it, there could be some good longs over there on Charles Schwab. So multiple stocks throughout the day tomorrow. You're not going to be short on a list of stocks to trade. There's simply no reason throughout this week going into the next few weeks that we're going to have a shortage of list of stocks to trade. There's going to be too many stocks to go through, and your job will be to find the stocks that are doing the right amount of volume, the right amount of relative strength or weakness, the right amount of catalyst that it has. So it'll be a little work, right? You're going to have to put in some work into this week, maybe reading some earnings articles, using scanners such as Trade Ideas or other scanners out there. I personally use Trade Ideas. Shout out to Trade Ideas. I got their hoodie on right now. Shout out to Trade Ideas. Use code PRAD15 at checkout. The link is in the description below. How do I use it? I use a relative volume scanner. I use a relative volume scanner to find out which one of these earning stocks are actually doing relative volume, and if they are, then I try to keep an eye on it. Look for some patterns to get into, look for some indicators indicating me a reason to get into the trade or maybe stay away from the trade, right? Listening to multiple reasons, not just one reason. Let me get in. No, give me a reason to stay away too. I'm looking for those two at the same time, because if the stock is telling you something, if the market is telling you something to stay away from it, then there's probably a valid reason to do that. So watching all things viable to make a decision before making a decision. Couple other stocks beside these bank stocks such as Morgan Stanley, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan and everything. We also have rent. Rent has been going a little crazy, right? Back-to-back days to the north side. The short squeeze was monstrous. We were looking for the short squeeze on the first day. We forgot about it. But the second day, we did not even think that it was going to do this, but it did. It did exactly that. Took out the high again and ran up to the north side, burnt more short. So Rent looks like a stock that we might want to... Oh my God, I just banged my knee in. That wasn't fun. Rent might looks like a stock that you might want to keep watching going forward for the next few days. The volume is coming down slightly. First day was above 40 million. Second day is slightly above 20 million. But overall, with the 25% short flow, with only 1 million float on the stock, if it's even doing 23 times revolution of its flow, that's pretty crazy. So people are getting soaked. The shorts are getting burnt. The longs are printing. Eventually, that's going to probably turn around, and we're interested in both sides. We're interested in the longs, we're interested in the shorts, so we'll wait and see how Rent sets up going forward throughout this week. Last week was monster opportunity, sadly did not take any advantage of that, and the same thing applies over here for GL, Global Life, investment fraud, investment management fraud. I don't know what the hell is going on over here, but this company got absolutely blown out to the south side with that short report, losing a lot of its value in seconds. Losing ton of its value. So GL will continue to be on the watch list as this story keeps on going into the news wires. Maybe some of it get bought up. After it gets bought up, we're looking for that what am I looking for? We're looking for pops to get sold into so we can join the ride back down over here if the story is fake, right? So Global Life, some sort of an MLM company, some sort of a scam at the end of the day. I did mention weed stocks were on the watch list. Tilray, ACB, CGC, all on the watch list, mainly because they've been making a little bit of a crazy pop recently after the whole German legalization. But Tilray with this earnings report caused the big downstir to come back into the weed stocks, and CGC is voting on a dilution, so that's going to bring down CGC back to the downside very soon, and along with that is going to come back ACB too. And if you guys remember when all of this hype was coming into play, I wasn't really too excited about that hype. I've seen how these ads will resume shortly. Delay more. Good. Delay for another 10 minutes. So ACB, you know, I wasn't really hyped for any of these news catalysts to come out anytime soon. If it for the weed sector. And even if it did, I've seen how legalization has played out in Canada for these weed stocks. They were hyped up and they got absolutely slaughterfested. Like T8 said earlier, slaughterfest, absolute slaughterfest. Got my eyes on the cyber sector with the geopolitical situation, says Josh. I like that cybersecurity sector, like PanW, I'm guessing. PanW, Cloudflare, which is NET. That's a good one to keep an eye on. Thinking about what other stocks could possibly be in that sector. Palantir, yeah, but Palantir is not really in the war sector. I mean, it is. It's not. It's in the, honestly, it's in the technology AI sector. But I'm 100% sure that there's some sort of a defense ETF that has Palantir inside of it, right? Palantir offers a lot of software, a lot of AI capabilities to the military, to the army, to the US Pentagon, and so on. I understand that, but I don't remember where I heard this or where I saw this, but the point I'm trying to get to is to get a lot of funding in these type of situations. Oh, I remember what it was. Let's show you the video. I remember what it was. Oh, I probably can. I might get demonetized for showing the damn video because it's like a YouTuber's video. Which one was the one I saw? Damn it. Forget which one I saw. Okay, screw it. Let's watch this real quick. Be careful not to get too close, I might just go. Now, if you guys know what this is all about, I don't think a lot of you guys might be like a flight fanatic, a plane fanatic like I am. There used to be a flight called Concorde from Air France. Air France Concorde. There used to be a flight called Concorde from Air France. This flight looked like an absolute beast. And it flew like one. It was super fast. It is decommissioned, sadly. No longer allowed to fly anywhere. The last time I saw it was in this very same hangar, along with the SR-87. I think that's how you say it. Is it SV-87 or the SR-87? I'm kind of forgetting exactly what the Blackbird's code name was. But the Air France Concorde, one of the fastest commercial flights ever made by mankind. But the problem was this flight was causing problems during landing. Some of the buildings closer to like the Indian airport were shaking and so on. There were a lot of issues with the flight in general because it was just going way too fast. Going way too fast that it had to be decommissioned. Eventually, they are solving that problem. And Boom is basically bringing, Boom being another company that makes airplanes, not Boeing, but another company makes airplanes. They're kind of bringing back this whole supersonic jet idea, supersonic flight idea, and so on, which would go, I think it's the speed is supposed to be Mach 3, Mach 5. What are these supposed to be? Boom, supersonic speed. Mach 2, not 5, sorry, Mach 3, Mach 2.2, Mach 3.5. Is this the same one? No, this is not the same one. Mach 1.7, sorry. Wait, is that the same one? I don't know. Either way, they're going super freaking fast to the point where the plane could really break the sound barrier, okay? It could break the sound barrier. That's how fast these planes are going. But the whole point of Boom to be able to even get to this point of making that engine is to solve defense, solve military problems. That's where you get the funding from. That doesn't make Boom a defense company, right? That doesn't make Boom a defense company, in my opinion, but a lot of people might see it. Boeing in the same way. The Boeing had to probably solve a lot of engineering, aircraft problems for the military. They provide the military with all those equipment and stuff too. Once again, who really makes planes besides Boeing and Airbus? So they probably provided. That's why Boeing is inside the whole basket. But for me, it's more Lockheed Martin and more RTX than anything when it comes to defense. So Palantir, that's why this whole point came about, because Palantir doesn't really belong, in my opinion, in the defense basket of stocks. But it is, at the end of the day, a defensive stock. You know, it's a technology-based defense and so on. But Boom, they had a video where they were talking about, you know, for us to even make the supersonic commercial airliner again, we only got here by being able to solve a lot of engineering problems for the military and so on. That was pretty cool to watch. Nice little video. Didn't Palantir buy a lot of gold? Did they? That's pretty interesting. I did not know that. Nicole Harris. Wow. I haven't seen your name in a while. How have you been? Welcome, welcome, Nicole Harris. Grab VDE back around 118. FAS, financial 3x bull, is an interesting spot for financials. You don't use XLF, but 3x leverage, I guess, right? So it should be a little bit lower price, a lot more liquidity. No liquidity at all. XLF does a lot more volume. What about the drone manufacturing? Wasn't DJI making money hand over fist from Russia-Ukraine conflict? But isn't DJI a private company? I thought DJI was a private company. We Googled this last time. I remember this. Yeah, private, state-owned by China? That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. I've been watching how these drones recently have been... What the hell? These drones recently have been taking over window washing jobs. That's pretty interesting. Drone window washing? That takes a lot of jobs away from people, but also saves a lot of people's lives, right? This is pretty cool. Obviously, this drone looks shit. The drone that I saw was a lot more fancier. That, like, look how many lives you're probably saving by not having to send a man to clean up there. And I'm saying man because no woman is going up there to clean that. Let's be real. I've been watching a lot more of this. There's the one that looks a much better drone. There's a much. Oh, here's the one. Of course, it's Facebook. Goddamn Facebook. Yeah, this is the one. This blue drone. You just have a technician control that. You just hire one person. This one person just cleans the whole house for you, the whole apartment for you, the whole residence for you. And you just cut yourself from what? 7 jobs? 7, 8 people that you didn't have to hire? You just spent it all on one robot, and that one robot will pay off its costs for you in I don't know, 5 buildings? There's 5 buildings right there. He just made up all of his money. And all you need is one truck, one water piston. And that water piston's connected to that and it's GG's. Interesting stuff what the drones are doing these days. Corey with $1.99. What's up? Oh, sorry, 99 cents. What's up, Corey? Thank you for the super chat. Much love. SR71. I'm pretty sure there had a 8 in there, no? Well, wasn't it 8? SR71. Okay. Yeah, the Blackbird. This flight was a beauty, dude. The Lockheed SR71. I wonder why they decommissioned this. Why is this one out of service? My favorite one, though. Come on, you know which one it is. No, not this one. The B2. This thing is a Lamborghini of flights. That thing right there, the Lamborghini of aircrafts. Look at that beauty. Is that the pilot? There's no way that's the pilot. There's no shot that's the pilot. The robo lawn cutting a while back started seeing companies starting to pop up. I did see that. There's a company I saw for a RC lawnmower. A RC lawnmower. Pretty interesting. But people should now be able to kind of take that Roomba technology and put it inside a lawnmower where you just maybe put up 4 stumps on the corners of your lawn. So if it goes there like the dog fence, like an invisible dog fence, if it goes through that, it goes, I can't go through anymore. I got to return. And it turns away. People have been doing some fancy stuff, man. Though I honestly, I think you can take the Roomba technology, include it with the dog fence technology, the invisible dog fence technology, and you could make a automatic drone Roomba lawnmower so easily. So easily. That wasn't a B2, that's an F117? The stealth aircraft? Yeah, fair. That's a Nighthawk. Beauty Nighthawk, dude. Beauty. It's a Lambo. Does this thing have a nuclear? Nah, it probably doesn't have a nuke in it. But all these angles make it harder, apparently, to get detected. I wonder how this thing sounds like. Imagine how it sounds like. Probably orgasmic. Let's see if we can find one.
Meet the F-117 Nighthawk, America's original stealth plane.
Sounds like a normal flight.
The F-117 Nighthawk, America's original stealth plane with a deeply sinister appearance, is an example of a weapon system designed around the limitations imposed by a promising new technology. The Nighthawk was revolutionary when it entered service in 1983. Not that
This thing's a beauty. F-22, I mean, yeah, those are like the Raptor engines, aren't those? F-22 Raptor, yeah, like, of course. You're talking about Raptor engines. Those are a whole different league, and those things are I would love to fly one. I would love to fly one of those. Never gonna be able to sit one. Never gonna be able to fly one. Maybe if I get famous enough with your guys' help, because you guys hit the like and subscribe on all my videos, and you guys watch all my videos where the YouTube algorithm keeps promoting me to all the people out there in the world. And if that happens, then I get a chance to go ride with the Blue Devils. I think that's what their name is, right? The Blue Angels or Blue Devils? Blue Angels. Do they have F-22s? What do they take rides in? I know they take like celebrities to fly around in these. F-18 Hornets. I mean, that's not bad. F-15's not that far behind. That'd still be freaking cool though, being able to pull all those G's and flying upside down and shit. Come on, dude. I'd love that. All right, enough about flight talk. I'll talk about flight all day. We'll be here talking about flights all day, and I will not be able to talk about stocks at all. Although we basically have talked about everything we wanted to talk about, right? Bitcoin, Coinbase, Mara, Riot, all those on watch. The bank sector, the AMD and everything, Nvidia, AMD having a pretty nasty pullback recently. Nvidia not so hot either from Friday's perspective, but on Thursday and on Wednesday, they both were crazy days for Nvidia compared to what the market was doing. So monster days for Nvidia over there, and that kind of saved the overall market. So if Nvidia really starts to pull back, market might get hurt a lot. So be careful over there. Talk about the market. We have to talk about Apple. We have to talk about the top 7 stocks. Apple with the insane reversal from that 170 area recently. We're waiting to see if Apple can keep on rallying over here with this recent news catalyst, a slew of news catalysts that have been helping out the stock to the upside. Microsoft kind of hanging by the all-time high. Google breaking the all-time high recently. Amazon breaking the all-time high recently. So they're all very much important. Meta also in the same basket, but not really at that all-time high yet because the market's stalling off. But once again, if the market starts going back up, Meta through that level is a level that you should not be missed. Like, you should watch that level like a hawk. If that level breaks, you get long. If that level comes back down, you get short. Obviously, this is very simple ideas. You got to use an actual setup, an actual playbook, know when to get in, know when to get out. But watching how the stock behaves at that area very well. And the reason why I say that is because Meta has been bouncing from the earnings anchored VWAP every time it's come down there. So lots of buyers in this moment for this position. So I want to see how it behaves, and especially with its earnings report not that far out. It should be exactly 10 days out. 10 days out for Meta with their earnings report. That means Apple's 10 days out. Apple's 18. That means Google's 10 days out. That means Google's 9 days out. Tesla should be 9 days out. Nvidia should be 9 days out. Sorry, Nvidia only recently. Nvidia's 38. Tesla, Netflix, Microsoft, Google, Apple. Who am I forgetting? Nvidia. Netflix. Wait, I already said Netflix. I thought I said Netflix. Either ways. So a lot of big names coming out with their earnings report very soon. And with the way the market is hanging out at the top, I think it'll be very interesting to see what happens with the whole basket of stocks over here. So make sure you're watching your QQQ indicators, your S&P 500 indicators. Here's something that I do for myself. Thank you to Dieter, who pointed out these indicators to me. These indicators are actually pointed out to both of us from a good video from S&B Capital, where they talk about the tick indicator, the ADD indicator, and the volt indicator. Just ways to kind of understand the market breadth. What is the market doing at the moment? Is it flushing? Is it going higher? Are the stocks in the market? Because obviously the QQQ is a list of 100 tech companies. The S&P 500 is a list of 500, not just tech, 500 companies overall. So you want to see how the list of stocks in that basket, where are they going? If QQQ is up, that's great, but are the list of stocks in the basket all going up? Are they all going down? Where are they actually at? Usually, if the market's all the way at the all-time high on a given day, but you're watching the ADD go down, you're watching the tick go down, there's a good chance that that might just be the top over there, and we're going to start flushing back in. So ideas like that will help you form or stay away from, punching the high a day breakout or looking for stupid reasons to get into trades at the wrong time. So always got to make sure you're using the right tools at the right time, or you're going to get hurt. Don't get hurt. You can map the building too. Skyscraper Roomba. Ooh, angry over here thinking about opening up a drone company. That's what it looks like. AV is a drone. Ooh, AV. Okay. Aerospace defense drone company. All right. Not much volume though, but at all-time highs, I'm bet. Yeah, all-time highs, not bad. Of course, the drone company I own is dog shit. What was the drone company I own? It's delisted? Oh, thank God it's not. I am here. I'm up here. They're down there. Rest in peace to my money. Drone Delivery Canada Corp. Rest in peace. But yeah, I mean, I believe in drones. Don't get me wrong. I just put my money in the wrong drone company. Drone crashes sometimes. Jeez. So do their stocks apparently. Buddha. Where are we? Can't have a robot do my household chores, mow the yard. Yeah, you can. That's what Tesla robots are all about. Do your chores for you, clean your dishes, maybe even sleep with your wife for you. That's what the Tesla robots are all about. I was thinking about robo lawn cutting a while back. I started seeing companies. Oh, I kind of read that already. They have radar cross sections off a fucking bee. Who does? Radar cross sections of a fuck. What do you mean by that? I don't understand that. I see drones in the military 20 years ago. They were amazing then. Ooh. Yeah, but those are like... Are you talking like the Predator drone? Like this? That's... Sure, it's a drone. But you see how big that is? How come I click on that image and it shows me a whole different image? There you go. It's the size of 4 people. And it's got... You know what on it? It's the beauty that killed Osama. No, it's not actually. Walmart uses drones in Bentowil Arc in the park of the city. Is that the delivery drones? I know they were supposed to use delivery drones during COVID. That kind of fell apart, didn't it? That kind of fell apart really quick. They were talking about a bunch of stuff like that, like using drones and all that fun stuff. I'm not sure what happened over there. Ooh, you guys want to watch an SMB video with me? Easy way to grow a small account with options. Now, that's not a video we watch, but proprietary traders swing entry and exit signals. This could be good for us to find some good entry and exit signals on the day trading side. I'm interested to watch this video. It's an 11-minute video. That's a pretty good way to spend our time, and then we could finish off with chess, because I basically have exhausted everything that I want to talk about the market today. I talked about the economic calendar. We talked about our watch list for tomorrow. We talked about the most important stocks such as Goldman Sachs, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan. JP Morgan to the downside looks very, very interesting, but that move on day one, which is earnings day one, was quite a bit to the downside. I think expecting a little bit more than that will be monster, but if we are getting that, I'll be ready to play with it, watching for any pullbacks to get sold into to join that JP Morgan downside. Or was that down move just irrelevant and we're going to completely reverse it? I don't think that's the case, because the volume candle negates that theory. So I am interested to see how JP Morgan behaves on the way down. GL is this other stock over there that I'm very interested about, and obviously the large cap Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, Nvidia, and all that fun stuff. Movie time, says Dieter. I think everyone is basically ready for movie time right now, so why don't we just go do movie time, since we don't have anything else to talk about other than the same 5 stocks over there, the same 5-6 stocks that I'll be interested to keep my eye on for tomorrow.
Traders,
Right.
what an eventful week that we just had. That definitely confirmed the adjustments
My
that
ears.
we've spoken about and employed to be right on the money. So I'm going to elaborate on that a little bit further, and I'm also obviously going to be sharing my top ideas for the week ahead, focusing on my precise trade plans, the setups that I really do think could make significant directional moves in the upcoming week.
Oh, he's giving
Now,
setups
just
for the
before
week.
I do that, just before I get into those exact setups, I want to briefly recap the action from
What
last week.
the hell is that,
The
chat?
action-
Spark, courage. What is that?
and the plans that I shared from last.
That looks like tarot cards or some shit. What is that? That's cute. That might be his brother. Whiskey on a newspaper. I don't know how that's artistic, but okay. Don't stop until you're proud. Okay, I like that. I want to see what's over there.
Watch list. You know, I was focusing predominantly on the short side, and that paid off last week. Obviously, with
Yeah, he
some
does this
exceptions
every
to more
week, but most of the
defensive
time
sectors, to
it's
some in-play sectors like the energy sector. But you know, the ACB, the CADL.
he doesn't talk
short
about like
it out,
signals. He just talks about
CADL
trade ideas.
plan here. We got the pop into potential overhead supply.
CADL,
In the
ooh,
beginning
small
of the
cap.
week, and from there, we had a really great multi-day swing short opportunity.
For like the persons to watch the scans and stuff, like here's who I like to watch for that. every Sunday. Oh my God, what did I just watch? Let's watch that in a second. These guys over here, Investor Underground, every Sunday they post a video. Volatile markets, adapting your trading and waiting for confirmation. These guys are amazing because not only are they scanning for stocks for the rest of the week, they're also talking about their trades, how they traded it, how could they have traded it better, and it's an amazing video, usually an hour long. You learn a lot from it. You learn a lot from it. So I would watch this on your own time. I'll actually put this link in the chat for you guys so you can watch it, but I will save this for myself on my own time. I don't want to spend another hour on stream right now because I want to go play PGA Tour, but we'll spend the next 11 minutes over here and then we'll go play chess and then we'll call it for the day.
Into targets. ACB, as I had mentioned as well, was likely to have some sideways action, but looking for a repeat of Friday's action where you got to push and fail into overhead supply. We got a repeat of that
ACB
on Monday.
Aurora Cannabis
Push into overhead
looking
supply.
for that
We got
failure
a
to
lower high confirmation versus the previous lower high, and
follow
then from there we
through,
got a
and then
nice
you look for
sell-off,
that short.
multi-day sell-off into support and a target zone for a swing short, and now we continue to consolidate sideways, digest the move, and remains to be seen. You know, these were two really good, straightforward textbook setups for a lower high short on the swing side, and so I do urge you to go back and study them and compare them with my original thoughts from last week's watch list to really understand them a little bit more in detail. IBIT obviously had a plan there for a potential swing long. However, that gapped up on Monday, you know, into a potential target zone. So there was no trade to be put on there. It sort of voided the plan as we never consolidated and broke above 40 as planned. We just gapped up above that level and have since sold off. Two other swing trades that I took on the week were in Oxy OXY. That was a long that I had, and I sold into 71 on Friday, as well as TPET, more of a small cap
Look
trade
good,
that I was
feel
long
good, trade good.
in the low 20s, and I sold into my target, which was 50 cents. Obviously, it had a parabolic move shortly after that, squeezed out some stubborn shorts, I believe. But this was another good one and will be on my watch list going forward. But these were really both part of a theme: rising oil prices and obviously tensions in the Middle East. So as we look ahead now going forward,
Tension in the Middle East.
you know, it's crucial. Obviously, you need to acknowledge the current market conditions. And following the sell-off, the significant sell-off that we had on Friday across all sectors, I'm really approaching this week with quite a lot of caution. You know, right now I don't have any A-plus swing ideas. We could potentially see continuation to the downside, or we could see some digestion and consolidation. Obviously, there's been breaking news over the weekend, you know, with the war in the Middle East, and so you really have to be prepared for any scenario and stay updated.
Last time the war got announced in Russia, everyone thought the market was going to dump, and the market ripped to the north side. So I would urge you guys to be careful for that side too. Don't be like, oh, war, we're going to die, we're going to die.
But this week, really, I'm going
be
to
careful.
be avoiding any long breakouts, and instead I'm focusing on individual names and some theme scenarios. So starting off with my ideas, sticking with Friday's actions, small cap oil stocks, which are heating up. There are a number of them. INDO, TPET, one that I was in last week, HUSA.
Small cap oil stocks, okay.
You know, they surged on Friday.
I'll put that on my
goes
watch.
The oil theme goes with the what's happening in the Middle East. And after I got out of my position from TPET, you know, more than doubled on Friday. Going forward, monitoring a handful of these names. Looking for potential consolidation, further upside, potential squeeze, you know, as fear rises with what's going on in the Middle East. But eventually I will be looking for a swing short in these as well. But here's my specific plan. Let's start off with TPET, TPET. Let's go to a lower time frame, so a 5-minute time frame. So if it continues to consolidate above multi-day VWAP, looking at around 45.40 to 45 cent range in this zone that I've highlighted here. If we continue to consolidate, I could definitely see a liquidity trap or short squeeze scenario play out for a move over Friday's high, closer to 1, psychological hole number 1. You know, if that had to happen, trading it on the 5-minute time frame, getting long on a breakout with a stop at the low.
That's pretty interesting trade there.
Low of day, depending on how it sets up. Alternatively, If we get a push into resistance, 60, 65 cents, we get a fail, we get confirmation of a lower high, a very clear fail, I'd be looking to get short versus the high of that move, looking for a move back down to 30 cents. And, with INDO and HUSA, very similar. We'll look at INDO for this example. With INDO, two additional small cap oil names on Friday. They have a history of running on themes in the past. I believe it might have been 21 or 2022 if you look back. INDO specifically made an enormous move off of a theme. And so, if they show some signs of staying power, and with the broader theme developing, if that
Now,
does
small
develop,
cap's not really
I
like my
would wanna see this
forte,
trap,
but
maybe a push under
if there's a
480,
play, there's money to be made. I'm interested.
That would get me interested for a full day, fairly aggressive, full day 1 to 2 day swing opportunity. For move first to Friday's high.
Okay.
After Friday's
INDO
high,
popped on your
trading might
scanner.
stop, trading
Yeah, I
up
mean, it
5
should
to
pop
10
on
frames
scanners because it's a
conservatively,
very
and
in
trading
play
might
name,
stop
right?
higher
The
lows
oil
and
industry,
taking
the
off
small cap oil
significant
industry,
intraday
apparently.
higher highs, as well
Very
as
in
any
play with
major
the whole war
extensions
situation.
from multi-day and intraday VWAP, locking in profits too. On the flip side, similar to TPET, if should any air come out of this, should the theme not develop, should there be advancements in the Middle East, things that don't bode well for these names, I'll definitely look for a push over 5, considerable, significant failure, short against the high of day for a multi-day swing, essentially back to 3s, back to where it's come from. And then some additional back burner ideas, things that I have some alerts set in. First one, NXPL. This one's from Friday. Really nice all-day fade. Great push pre-market.
A lot of small cap
and then we got a
names,
steady
huh?
sell-off. This one traded a significant amount of volume. It's got around 45 million shares traded, so significant volume.
What's the entry and exit signal, bro?
Should exist. So I'm looking for a push into the 2-day VWAP, but really starting at around 2 resistance into 230. So within this range that I've highlighted here, if we can get a push into that range, significant failure would look.
I swear, if Bella comes in with the advertisement before the actual entry and exit
then
signal, I'm gonna
something
never
else that
watch
I'm
this
watching
guy's video
after
ever again.
Friday's action with the developments going on.
Never
over the
watching
weekend,
this guy's video
Israel
again.
Iran is
Because all he's doing is giving me trade ideas. Give me how to actually trade.
To be aware of. I don't have a trade plan.
Don't give me
It's
the
all reactive,
fish.
but
Teach
definitely
me
want
how to
keep an eye on it
fish.
because gold has been leading in the past several weeks. You have gold, commodities, gold and silver. Both
Gold
with,
was a good trade. I told you guys about
considerable
that.
Bearish moves on Friday, engulfing candles on Friday. So we've had developments over the weekend with Israel and Iran. So let's see if we do get a push into the 2-day VWAP, along with any headlines and developments that happen from now until the market open. How do we act if we come?
Yeah, I
into
need to
this
add gold
2-day
back to
VWAP
my
on
watch
silver
list.
and gold? Do we fail? Do we consolidate? Do we gap up? Do we gap down? Just keeping an eye on that. I think that will definitely dictate other moves outside of just commodities in the market. And it will definitely be a good barometer of
The hell is
of
going on
fear, of
here?
hedges,
Brilliant
of
and
capital
brillianter.
allocation. So it's just something I'm keeping an eye on in this area to see how we act around the 2-day VWAP after Friday's action. Let me know if there's anything else that's on your list. Let me know if there are any setups that you believe are high risk reward, high probability setups, swing setups right now in this market, or maybe if there's anything that I missed that should be on my watch list. Other than that, good luck for the upcoming week. Stay safe, good luck, and I will see you all next week.
So you're an active trader.
Exactly what he
You're not
said.
doing
Let
these
me know if there's anything that you guys want us to talk about, because besides that, I basically have everything that I want. Thanks to him, I have some small cap oil names. I have other names that I've already planned for throughout the day, which we've talked about for some nauseum over here. But that's pretty much the end of today's stream, ladies and gentlemen. That is the end of today's stream. But we got some other things to do, which
mapping,
is maybe,
enhancing public
just hang
safety.
out. We don't have to
When you're-
always just talk stream. We can hang out, we can chill out, watch some movies, play some games. So we're going to do that right now. We're going to watch this stream about, or watch this video about DJI. But if anyone wants to head out, call it a day, because we're not talking about stocks anymore. You don't want to hang out with Prad. I understand. I'll see you guys tomorrow, hopefully, on the next stock stream, which is at 8 p.m. Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. Sunday, 6 p.m. About an hour or so, we talk about stocks. Usually an hour and a half on earnings season, because we have a lot more stocks to talk about. But after that, we try to hang out a bit. We try to chill out, wind down, watch some YouTube, play some chess, call it a night after that. So hang out with me if you feel like it. If not, I completely understand. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Love you guys.
You're facing high repetition or urgent demands? A more efficient and accessible unattended solution is crucial. Meet DJI Dock 2, a drone docking system that broadens the horizons for unattended operations. DJI Dock 2 features a lightweight design with an approximately 70% reduction in both size and weight. The highly integrated body facilitates quick deployment. Specially designed for DJI Dock 2, the Matrice 3D and Matrice 3 TD drones are compact yet high-performing. DJI Dock 2 comes with IP55 ingress protection and also integrates an environmental monitoring system to perceive weather changes in real time, allowing it to operate in harsh climates and environments. The Matrice 3D series drones have a max flight time of up to 50 minutes, significantly enhancing operation efficiency per flight. The maximum effective operating radius reaches 10 kilometers, covering a larger operation scope. Matrice 3 TD, equipped with a wide-angle camera,
Do you
a
need that,
telecamera,
Doc?
and an infrared camera, can depict both visible light and thermal images, making
Okay,
it
this
suitable
drone
for
is
public
insane.
safety and inspection operations. Matrice 3D features a telecamera.
This is
and
not
a
like a
wide-angle
normal
camera
drone
with a
that,
mechanical
like,
shutter. The dual camera
Dieter
size
has at his
easily
house.
achieve
This is a
1-inch
real
high
drone.
precision measurement tags.
This is a real
Additionally,
drone.
Both drone models have IP54 dust and water resistance, demonstrating excellent environmental adaptability. The combination of vision and RTK positioning work
How
together
big
to
is that
further
drone?
improve landing accuracy. With a battery cycle life of up to 400 times, the cost per flight is reduced by 50%. DJI Dock 2 pairs with the DJI Flight Hub 2 cloud platform. It supports cloud mapping capable of generating high-precision 3D models. You can also edit the flight route in a 3D environment.
This is how
from a
China-
first-person perspective.
This is how China plans to map every building in USA so they can take over when they need to. DJI is gonna get banned by DJT.
The aircraft supports 6 directional obstacle sensing and uses pre-imported obstacle data to automatically calculate bypass routes to enhance flight safety. Simply click on the location in DJI Flight Hub 2 and the aircraft will automatically plan the optimal flight route. DJI Dock 2 integrates dual RTK antennas, quickly refreshing aircraft return points. With a 45-second takeoff time, the aircraft can reach the destination swiftly.
45-second takeoff time? Isn't that a lot?
With Cloud API, users can connect DJI Dock 2 to a third-party cloud platform for private deployment. Through Flight Hub Sync, DJI Flight Hub 2 easily links to a third-party cloud platform to flexibly manage results. The aircraft's ePort supports various third-party payloads, covering more application scenarios. In terms of structural design, operation efficiency, and
drones are
intelligent
actually
functions,
gonna be...
DJI
People
Dock 2
were
is
laughing
undergoing
about
comprehensive
drones not
upgrade,
being the next
opening
thing.
a new chapter in scaled, unattended applications.
Some of the drones were just way too early for their time. That's all it was. Some of the drones were just way too early for their time. I remember watching this one, the Mark Rober one. Dock 2, everything you need to... I don't need to know anything about Dock 2, bro. Get out of here. I don't need to know anything about Dock 2. That's pretty interesting, though. Pretty interesting. What is this? TA1 first flight. That flight looks fucking fancy. That flight looks fancy. Alright. I don't see anything else that I want to watch right now with you guys. The new UFC gloves are pretty cool. I don't know if you guys saw that. Oh, this is the drone you were talking about? The Avatar 2? Let's see this. Oh, it's a first-person drone? Yes. Yes. I'm coming over to Montreal right now if you buy this. That's fucked. Diner, you gotta get this. How much is this? You gotta buy this. You gotta buy this. 1K? That's not bad. Is this DJI's first FPV? Because I know FPVs weren't like highly promoted product, right? Like I know people were like buying drones that they custom fit to FPV, but it's probably easy to crash. Yeah, that's why people buy those bootleg drones that they make themselves to make it FPV compatible, right? Like those FPV drones don't look as good as this. This one looks really good.
So I've been flying this DJI Avata 2 for...
Shut up. A lot of people just buy these like bootleg kits that just look weird and they just build their FPV drones on that. I know that. These Arduino boards and so on. But one of my most favorite YouTube video ever. I don't know if he's posted any new ones. He might have. Oh yeah, a lot of new ones. Holy shit, I haven't seen any of these. I gotta hit the subscribe to this guy. I haven't watched this, but one of my favorite video ever. One of my most favorite ever is this guy. If you guys haven't watched this, you guys are missing out. This video is beautiful, man. There's this one shot, and here it comes. This shot right here. That shot, like, you guys know what the drone is doing, right? Look at this one shot. So the drone is right now falling backwards. Well, it could be that he filmed the camera going up probably, and then he's playing the film in reverse. That is a possibility. But knowing this guy, he filmed it this way where the drone is falling backwards. Watch this. This drone is falling backwards. Okay, you know what? No, that's probably just reverse. That's probably just reverse, right, Dieter? This one's just reverse. Nah, that one's reverse. That one's just reverse. But look at this angle where the drone's like coming in all sides and doing all this shit. Now look at this one. Oh wait, not yet. There's one where he drives inside the building that you just saw. That mosque. That scene is insane. Right here. Here it comes. Where he starts flying inside the building. That transition, bro. He's riding the walls of a freaking mosque. looks like it's 3D. Yeah, it's beautiful. This is the Ferrari car ride in the Ferrari land, the Abu Dhabi. Yeah, I hate that place. Screw Ferrari. If that video doesn't make you want to go to Dubai or hang out with this guy and go to amazing places where he films all this amazing content at, I mean, this guy has some of the best first-person view content ever. Ooh, was he the one who filmed the Red Bull Formula One? No way. I mean, yeah, I could see him doing that. Red Bull F1 takes Miami. He did Miami also. Wow. Is he signed to Red Bull? Johnny could actually be signed to Red Bull, isn't he? I don't know. Maybe he's not signed to Red Bull, but because he does all these extreme sports and so on, he could be like kind of partnered with them somehow. He deserves a Red Bull contract, I'll tell you that. Buddy is a very talented drone driver. Very, very, very talented drone driver. But yeah, if Dieter can do that with the Avatar 2, then Dieter, you should get that. You should 100% get that. All right, as you guys can see now, my highest rating of puzzles, 722. White to move. White to move. White to move. Black to move. Easy, chat. We speed ran that. Speed ran that. Okay, let's go. Let's get our first win of the day. Oh, I have a quote. All right, buddy. What do I do here? Two to one, you lose the game. You guys are assholes. %67 says no. Fuck you guys. My chat loves hating on me. That's all it is. Bunch of haters. Is the buddy gonna do something or what? Thank God, took him freaking 10 years to do something. We learned from this channel. At least I'm teaching you something, right? At least I'm teaching you fucking something. Fresh. No, was scared the queen will die. No, I'm not that fucking stupid. I know that's there. Take his bishop. That one? Yeah, but then I'm risking mine too. Is that worth it of a trade? I don't think so. I'll let him take me and then I'll take him. The fuck are you doing, dude? The intro. Yo, this guy's a fucking rat. This guy's a fucking rat. I don't think I've heard this beat before, Dieter. Jesus. Really, Sukabliat? No, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that, chat. This is a weird game. We're both very defensive. No one's really wanting to take any pieces unless, you know, you make a mistake like I just did. Move them one back. I don't know what to do here. right? Go here, make him move, move here, then move him, then go here, and I win. I need this guy out of here. Go here, take him, take the pawn, move him, make him move, or move, take him, make him take that. He can't because he can't even move that. He's pinned. So I just move him here then, and I just take that. I don't even move the thing. I don't even need to move this guy. Hold up. Take him. He can't move that. I move here, and I win. Huh. I need him to move that bishop. I don't even need to move this guy right now, do I? Not an attack. Nowhere am I an attack. I win the game. Ballin'! Let's go! You 75% of you lost. You guys don't know. The champion. I was born a champion. I'm gonna die one. We're now in the Silver League, chat. From bronze to silver. That's huge. We were just bronze. We're now in silver. Huge. Let's go. You voted no so I can win? Yeah, right, buddy. I know you're a hater. You're a born hater. You and Ani probably have like little hate Prad sessions on Discord where you guys get along with each other, get together, and just sit there and just hate on Prad all day. You guys are just haters, man. All you haters in the chat, except for TH. He's a real dude in there. He hates bad companies, but he doesn't hate me. He loves me. I know that. Thank you, TH. You're the real man, dude. And Buddha, he loves me too. I know that. But you, Dieter, and Ani, Dieter, you changed, bro. Dieter used to be the homie. Dieter changed so quick. Dieter changed way too quick. Just like that. Bang. I see you, Dieter. I see you, brother. I see how it is. But anyways, guys, all jokes aside, you guys know how much I love Dieter. You guys know how much I love all of you in there. Except for Clowny. She deserves the hate she gets. Because she's mean to me. That's why. She deserves the hate she gets. But no, she knows I love her too. So at the end of the day, guys, thank you for all the love and support that you guys show me every single day by pouring into this chat, by keeping me engaged, making sure that I'm not talking to nobody and talking to absolutely thin air over here. So it's been amazing for the last few X amount of time period that I've been streaming for. Can't wait to do this for the next few years of my life again. You guys know how I love it. The market very exciting for tomorrow. All this week, very exciting. Make sure that you're ready for it. Apply risk management. If you have any questions, make sure you ask me in the next stream, which is tomorrow 8 o'clock, Monday to Thursday. We're always here, so I'll see you guys until then. Have a good night. Have an even better trading day tomorrow. I'll see you guys later. Adios. Ciao. Good night. Peace out. How do you say bye in Japanese? Not konnichiwa. Arigato. No, that's thank you. Damn it. All right, I tried. Goodbye. Peace. Adios. Might just be a risk on type of day, so let's see what happens. 8 o'clock tomorrow. As you guys know, we do the stream Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. Shout out to my affiliate sponsors, Benzinga, Sayonara, #1 scanner to go to, Trader Sync, promo code down below, promo code PRAD15 to get 15% off. I will catch you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Until then, TraderPrad out. Adios.